up in a lot of these circles. Maybe, maybe not. But the more people that know, it's like it's kind of like, oh, that's what's happening, you know? Anyway, I'll just play it from the beginning.
Content.
Whoops. Okay, here we go.
Got dragged into one of the most bizarre South 32-like rabbit holes ever. If you see anyone respond to my tweets, and you probably will on this one, with the name Amanda, Stompy, or any variation therein, do not interact. Ever heard of the website Rabbits? Apparently it was a site that allowed multiple users to have watch parties for online content. Apparently recently it was shut down after being bought out. However, this Amanda user is dead set on it being linked to child abuse. Anyway, she has a ton, and I mean a ton, of alternate accounts and will spam you endlessly if you mention it. Furthermore, she'll accuse you of supporting pedophiles if you block her because of it. It's just a never-ending negative feedback loop. Anyway, how does this tie to me? Recently, someone made a thread on my subreddit about this in her subreddit, r/stoprabbits news sites, and since then, I've been subjected to this endless spam and borderline harassment by her. If you see her tweets, just block and do not engage for your own sake. Online harassment. A source of mental anguish and a plague on one's happiness. Aside from stalking, I'd say that this is one of the worst things that can happen to someone online. The constant slander, the never-ending negativity by a vulture circling over your head, ready to strike when you decide you're sick of hiding. Yeah, I have an online harasser, and this is my story. What a year. As if prolonged quarantine due to a widespread, unprecedented virus wasn't enough, I was infected with yet another, a different type of virus that just won't go away. If you head to any one of my tweets and look hard enough, you'll find her. And for obvious reasons, her name in this video is not actually her name. The reputation damage that someone can cause with these claims are enough to give anyone crippling anxiety, especially when people are unaware of the context of what's actually happening. It isn't just me either. Mama Max, Mudahar, Loey Lane, and Night Docs have all fallen victim to this online plague and have tried everything in the book to get rid of it. Why is she so hard to get rid of anyway? I mean, honestly, if this is just one person going up against all of us, why is this even a big deal? Don't worry. We've been working behind the scenes, compiling testimonies, constructing dossiers, and noting every single detail that's happened. Some of the things that she's done are enough to land anyone in jail, and her method of keeping her tirade alive is something that I'm having trouble wrapping my mind around. It's safe to say that I've never seen anything quite like it. And tonight, we're going to explore it. So how did I get here? It's a question that I'm sure you all have and have had for quite some time now. It's a bit tricky. Let me take you back. It was a February morning. I was just waking up, sand still in my eyes, and I reached over to check my phone. Among everything else, I noticed I had a few Facebook comments. I opened them up to see what they're about, and God damn it, another ARG. If you're unaware, yes, this is a common occurrence. One of the not so great things about covering internet mysteries is that people are compelled to create their own. And they can get spammy. But I digress. I had things to do, and so I went on with my day as per usual. Again. Wait, is this? That person, or person from Facebook seems to be real convinced of something to do with me. The thing about the internets, and what's really getting to me about this, is the fact that when someone like this comes out with such loaded and heavy-handed claims, people are inclined to question it. And some, even if it's just 1%, would be inclined to believe it. This is how rumor starts, and I'm not about to be blamed for something I didn't do. Jesus Christ, what the f was I dragged into? It appears that this is all stemming from one Reddit post about a website named Rabbit that was made to my subreddits. I'm not entirely sure why something so simple could cause such a wildfire for someone, but hell, at this point I hardly even know what Rabbit is, and this post wasn't even made by me. I'll just give it some time. I just want this to go away. I don't need something like this wrecking my headspace. Alright, she ain't letting up. Ryan, what do you want to do? Ignore it. You've got to talk about this. Address it. Ignore it, it'll pass. Address it. Ignore it. Address it, people will understand. You're gonna have to talk about it one way or another. People are wondering what's going on. Just address it. Ignore it, it'll go away. Why are you putting out a statement for something you didn't do? Address it, Ryan. This isn't your problem. Put out a statement. Everyone knows she's lying. Ignore it. Address it. Ignore it. Just address it. Just do it. Here goes nothing. oh, now she's really mad. From here on, I became target number one, and the next 24 hours were nothing short of a hellish nightmare. Every single person that I publicly interacted with online became added to her growing list of targets that she openly touted on her many subreddits. Scrolling through them is a nonsensical word salad nightmare filled with tweets, my face, connections to rabbits, and even threats. Yeah, for a while there it got personal. Too personal. You won this one, Amanda. You won this one. Privating my Twitter until release of the next video so Amanda can hopefully get off my ass. Normally I'd just leave it be, but she's begun targeting you guys and my loved ones here, and it just doesn't sit right with me. This stuff started about a month ago out of nowhere, and to be clear, I have no idea who she is. I've never used rabbits, nor do I have any intention on making a video on her. I just want this mess to stop. Unfortunately, others that have been harassed have reported her, but the authorities basically say they can't do anything about it. It should also be noted that she began archiving my followers on r/StopRabbits news sites if you sort by new. It's an unfortunate situation all around, and I truly hope she gets help for this. Things got quiet for a while. After a couple weeks under a private Twitter, she seemed to back off a bit. There were a couple of instances of rat accounts getting approved to follow me, but those didn't bother me too badly. I'll admit it was hard forcing myself not to check her subreddits every hour like I'd grown so accustomed to doing. Reading it was an addiction that made me feel like absolute shits because there was nothing I could do about what she was saying. While I was helpless other than blocking and reporting her spam, something about knowing what she was saying about me put me at this strange sense of ease. Like I could somehow control it. Like the feeling that she wouldn't be able to blindside me again. She was in my sights and was living in my head rent-free. But we all know situations like that are nothing but destructive. Other than that though, relatively, things seem to be looking up. Finally. But I am so naive. I couldn't have been more wrong.
You're talking about that chapter video?
Yes.
So that was really pretty hard on me, honestly, just because, as you know, that was pretty soon into my start with this whole YouTube thing. And I had somehow miraculously gotten some pretty big people to join in on something that I thought was going to be really fun. Really wanted to do something really fun with Mike from that chapter. And what was really discouraging was her habit of going after one person and then anyone that person associates with. And so when I tagged everybody in that tweet, I tagged Justin Wang, I tagged, Loey, I tagged Alex Bale, I tagged everybody that was in there, and she immediately latched onto them. And right after that, she became pretty relentless, just as she had been with you and I on them. And so it felt really awful, because one of the things that you and I have talked about was that this has created a really awkward situation where we're kind of limited in who we can interact with publicly, specifically because of this one sole person who comes after us and anyone that we are friends with, which has kind of isolated us from a group of friends that we hold near and dear.
On the 1st of April 2020, one of my good friends, Night Docs, would release a collaborative video by the name of The Dark Side of That Chapter. While meant to be one massive joke towards our friend Mike, little did he know what it would turn into for him. The upload featured a plethora of other creators along with myself, all jumping in to give Mike some heat for the, quote, bad things that he's done to us over the years, and it was all done in good fun. The thing was, I was a part of it, and I was infected. If Amanda's the virus consuming my life, then this video was the catalyst that unknowingly spread it. Yeah, she started harassing everyone else too.
Okay. My first experience with Amanda was after I had replied to your post. And so I saw your Twitter thread, and I specifically remember that I replied, "I'm so sorry, Rye, like that's crazy." And it was almost immediately after that Amanda started popping up for me. God, where do I even start? I remember she was very vocal about specifically thinking that I had called her crazy, because I replied, of course, to your post saying that the situation was crazy, which I didn't. You know me, I would not just run on the internet and call someone crazy. So she started getting really vocal with me within those coming weeks, and by April, I had to make a statement of my own, and I had to say, listen, when you reply to my tweets, and it's so embarrassing to have to say that to your subscribers, that they are at risk of being harassed by this person. But I had to make my own statement. And since then, I mean, it's just been a mess. As you know, I am an ambassador for various brands, and one of them being Savage X Fenty. They retweet me a lot and show a lot of like my photos and stuff. And I remember she replied under one of their tweets, because I block every account that she has. And that was, I think that's when I realized how serious it was, and that it wasn't just like this person on Twitter stalking me and my friends, essentially. It was like, oh, this can really impact my business, and these are very serious allegations and claims that she's making because I replied to a tweet.
I'm sure each one of them could tell their arc of the story, and I'm pretty convinced that they'd all sound pretty similar to mine. Amanda enters your life without invitation, wreaks havoc, and becomes something that you just need to learn to live with. Police can't do anything. Twitter squashes her accounts, however more just keep popping up. Blocking her doesn't do a damn thing, and interacting with her just makes it worse. This woman has so many accounts on so many different platforms that the sheer scale of the operation she's running is so grandiose that it's incomprehensible. Sun up to sundown, she's on our case, making absolute damn sure that our lives are hell because she's convinced that we're all up to something nefarious. One of the most ironic examples of this comes from one of her many Facebook accounts where she's accusing Max, yes, Mama Max, the vigilante predator hunter, of being a pedophile.
She posted my video on her Facebook and called me to a bunch of people. And my first thought was, fuck this bitch.
And the crazy thing is that people believed it. Unless these are bots, but these accounts go back pretty far. It's weird though, because I've noticed a strange pattern with these people. They're nice to her. Too nice. And I highly doubt that they're oblivious to the torment that she's caused people for years now. Oh yeah, she's been doing this for years. But we'll get to that shortly.
I want to say for the most part, since being a daily uploader and like daily poster, the engagement sort of starts to drown her out. But there were a couple days where like, you know, you go without an upload and she like takes over a comment section and like it pops up, you know, she like upvotes it via her like crazy bot network. And it ends up like showing into like people start asking questions, right? Like, you know, people see the post are like, what do you promote? Like, you know, pedophilia, or are you part of this, like, you know, promotion of a pedophilia network or whatever with your friends? And sometimes at first I didn't bother explaining it, right? Like to a random commenter, I wouldn't, because I just let it happen. I'd let them say it and I wouldn't bother acknowledging it. I'd keep it out of the whole fray. What really got to me was where my mom came up to me and she's like, she asked me, because my mom's my biggest fan on here, so she'll like follow a video, she'll read the comments and shit. Right. And she read the one comment from her, and like, when your family starts asking you if you're, you know, defending of a pedophile, like that's such an awkward conversation. Like, of course it's a no, but it like, it takes away like it's just a conversation you don't want to have, because now it's going to be like forever stuck, and they're always going to remember it, and it's just like it pissed me off to the point where it's like it when you have questions, when it starts bleeding into your personal life, yeah, fuck it, dude. There's no like, the rage that I had built like 100 times over, because I was already aggravated and pissed at her, but now it's like, now it went from like, oh, I'm pissed at you, to now like I want to fucking bury you. Like I want to fucking dig a 6-foot hole in the ground and fucking throw you down it. Like I shouldn't even be saying it, but that's literally how I feel after dealing with her fucking psychoness. Because the thing is, I would chalk it up to someone being fucking crazy, but like this is like somebody just like, this is beyond crazy. This is beyond a fucking illness. This is like malicious as fuck at its core, and that's what I'm getting from her, dude. Fuck it. Fuck her. Fuck Amanda.
Throughout April and May, her reign had spread to multiple fan bases within the internet mystery genre. While things might have seemed like business as normal, the actions we were taking behind the scenes proved otherwise. We began a hunt for information on this person and realized that discussion about her preceded our involvement entirely. I hope you have a snack handy, because we're about to go back. Ladies and gentlemen, let's dive into a rabbit hole. It began with the advent of YouTube. The year was 2006. The channel entered the digital space, uploading mostly nonsensical home movies involving dancing and family photos. And for what it's worth, people seemed to enjoy it. These were run by our Amanda Jenkins, an avid fan of metal, deathcore, and hardcore punk music, as hinted at through the distinct visual style portrayed through many of her uploads. Over the years, she'd cycled through a plethora of usernames, all having to do with the words core, skulls, stompy, and variations of her real name. Things get a bit hazy for the next decade or so, as she shifted from username to username across various websites. However, in 2014, she'd eventually make her way to one named suicidegirls.com, where she'd end up amassing over 125 followers. For the better part of a year, she'd make periodic posts to the websites, curating a community that appeared to be mostly supportive of her personality and style. Now, quick side notes. Remember how I mentioned that there are people on her Facebook that support her, even today, that have to have knowledge of her constant online harassment towards all of us? I'm not going to delve into how she met them, because I honestly don't know. But as we proceed, just let the idea of those people marinate in your mind. Anyway, around 2015, she'd expand her presence into other content sharing websites, one of which being an early example of her many ventures into controversy. It was around this time when we began to observe the early stages of the structure and vernacular that she'd use to harass her many online victims. Interestingly enough, here it was directed at a website by the name of UCandy, an explicit content sharing domain that Amanda seems to have once frequented. The social structure of the website seemed to be based on a 5-star system, where models would be rated based on the content and interaction that they provided their fans. This would, however, prove to serve as the foundation of Amanda's controversial tirade against them, as she was increasingly convinced that there was some sort of conspiracy against her. Today, the website's gone out of business due to a lack of funds. However, remnants discussing it are still online. Googling UCandy interestingly spits out a screenshot from a website directing us to Amanda's predicament against them. This is only on the third row of the very first page of results, lending perspective into the actual online damage that this woman's able to do whenever she's pursuing someone on the internet. Her website, fittingly, is simply titled You Candy Truth and serves as a screenshot-filled blogspot page of various DMs that she's compiled about her. Honestly, the post titles really tell you all you need to know here. Allowing models to act like fools. Video proof of You Candy refusing to send me proof I cheat and of model Casey Jane stalking me. Now You Candy is going to call the cops on me. The tweet they had up, then removed using my legal name. Epic fail by You Candy and its fake sites. You Candy threatens me to tell sites lies about me. Unprofessional all around 100%, proof they steal money from men who go on the site. Now the actual turn of events that led up to this are unclear. However, considering her present-day track record in regards to online drama, I'm led to believe that she formulated the situation around herself, curated a predicament about her being owed something, and ran with it in full force. As expected, she then proceeds to spam their email, Twitter, Facebook, websites, what have you, until they give in and engage with her, giving her the heated response that she appears to thrive on. In a response email to Amanda from You Candy's moderation team from February of 2015, we can observe much of this logic in action. This notice will stay on our site until all the nonsense stops and you remove your untrue blogs and stop tweeting lies. You were banned and you were paid in full and no one lost any money or tokens, and you know all this full well. You started this. You can just as easily stop it. If not, we'll continue to display this notice and tweet it several times a day with your Twitter names if need be. We'll also contact all the other sites you're currently on, such as Extra Lunch Money, Free Live Friends, My Profile, Need Live, My Girl Fund, etc., and advise them of your actions. From one site to another, we warn each other of users like you when we have to. Your call. We will not be discussing this further. Feel free to post this on Twitter. You Candy Admin. As you might expect, this interaction didn't do many favors for them, as Amanda would continue her pursuit no matter the outcome. An interesting tidbit I'd like to note here is that soon after this, You Candy, in a bizarre parallel to the actions happening now, would take their situation public, further issuing a warning to any unsuspecting passersby who might come into contact with her in the future. Paige Stompy, aka Core Stompy, Blissbound Girl, Stompy Rebel, Amanda Jenkins Riferson. A few models have reported that the above named person has been saying untruths about You Candy and other models and users of the websites. Even though we're reluctant to discuss individuals, we would, however, like to set the record straight by saying that, as many of you are already aware, Paige Stompy was banned from You Candy for cheating in the weekly contest. She was also caught creating fake users and using those users to downrate other models' content on the site. All these users were also deleted and banned from the site. It's since come to light that she's also been banned from several other sites for doing the same thing. When banned, she was paid in full. We did not have to do this. However, as an honest company with a very good reputation, we paid her in full, regardless of what she'd done. She was also provided with a full statement so she could check the amount was correct. One of her fake users, or a very gullible follower, also claimed on Twitter that they were banned and lost tokens. We only ban users who break the rules to keep the site at a high standard for those that use it. None of the banned users lost money or tokens despite what they're saying on Twitter. Unfortunately, since this was one of the many screenshots from Amanda's websites, the rest of the message is cropped out. There are two things in this bulletin that I'd like to highlight though. She was also caught creating fake users and using those users to downrate other models' content on the sites, and one of her fake users, or a very gullible follower, also claimed on Twitter that they were banned and lost tokens. This is notable since on her present-day Facebook page, people unconditionally support her. This has led me to believe that, much like You Candy's claimed, maybe these are alternate accounts made to artificially boost her numbers and make her appear more relevant than she is. Either that, or perhaps her Facebook audience, full of people showering her with hugs, support, and positivity, are runoffs from her time spent on Suicide Girls, You Candy, and the many other websites she frequented in the past. Now, while the quantity of Amanda's online footprints and interactions proved to be substantial, ironically, this would appear to serve as the catalyst for her descent into madness. To illustrate my points, let me finally redirect your attention to a niche little website by the name of Rabbit. The video streaming domain allowed users to watch online content together with a live chat off to the side, and it's an idea that's been mimicked numerous times by various other hosts over the years. Unfortunately, Rabbit had a relatively short lifespan, only having been online from roughly 2013 to 2019. However, its eventual demise was something that wasn't without controversy. Like we hinted at prior, Amanda was and is absolutely convinced that she is the sole reason that the website went offline. But was she? I got into contact with a few people that were there when this was all happening, and feel that I've gotten the rough gist of what played out in mid to late 2018. And it goes a little something like this.
Oh, hi, this is of course, I'm just calling since you've been harassing me on Twitter, kind of like Rabbit did, and I just wanted to call and let you know I got your number, and if you guys continue to stalk me and post bullshit, I'm going to have you shut down like I did Rabbit. Don't screw with me, because I will legally do what I had to do and go to the FBI. I don't think rape's funny. You guys are making a joke out of it. I don't appreciate it. Someone actually broke in my house and tried to rape me after Rabbit allowed my fucking home number to be posted. I'm not dealing with all that again. Leave me the fuck alone. Do not call this number back either.
In 2018, Amanda Jenkins eventually stumbled her way to Rabbit, where both her and her child would watch videos in their spare time. Over the course of the next few months, Amanda's son, who we'll call Tyler, seemed to enjoy joining a particular user's room named O'Chris, who primarily hosted late-night cartoons and Gordon Ramsay cooking shows. It was noted by some that O'Chris was a father and would allow children to watch his streams with him. After eventually discovering that Tyler was a regular of O'Chris's Rabbit room, she began targeting and accusing him of being a pedophile. As you might expect, this wasn't pretty, as every single waking moment of Amanda's day was dedicated to ensuring that his online interactions were nothing short of miserable. However, it didn't quite go to plan, as O'Chris retaliated in full force, beginning his deep dive into her online past. Once he discovered her previous profiles on various campsites, along with her track record of sustained online harassment, he took it public in hopes of discounting her entirely. Pivoting to Reddit, in December of 2018, discussions surrounding the O'Chris situation would ramp up on r/Rabbit Reddit, prompting responses from him. One example comes from a user named KingDude6889. On the 5th of that month, he'd proceed to ask the following. Quick question about a trend in this Reddit. Who is O'Chris? A user named The One and Only True Me quickly responded, saying, O'Chris is a guy who basically streams 24/7 on Rabbits with the mic and camera on. The person who is spamming the links is constantly harassing him. Comet 0707 also chimed in. Your guess is as good as mine, but from what I'm seeing as an outsider of the drama is this chick Core Stompy claims O'Chris is stalking her and harassing her. She's making a bunch of accounts to flood his rooms and such, claiming he's a pedo. I did some research that this isn't the first time a Core Stompy has claimed others as pedos. It's pretty crazy seeing this out of nowhere drama. By this point, discussion about Amanda had rapidly ramped up and knowledge about her was spreading like wildfire. The fact that she was at her peak, endlessly spamming an under-moderated subreddit about her vendetta against one user, combined with the frustration of others having their feeds clogged, it's safe to say that the community was on a considerably divisive track. Backing up to November, during the advent of her involvement with rabbits, we can observe a post by a user named Califer claiming, "Yikes. If this is true, be careful." The link's now dead. However, a quick glance at the URL shows us that it's from one of Amanda's Facebook pages. I'm led to believe that it involved Amanda calling Okris a doxing predator, as she'd grown so accustomed to doing, and this person ran with it. In response to this though, Okris would release a lengthy explanation, claiming the following. "For the record, I did not dox her. I simply searched for Core Stompy in the Rabbit cast to find hundreds of results with the same story, of Stompy harassing and falsely accusing people of this type of stuff. For her, it's some mental battle, and unfortunately I'm stubborn and will not say sorry for kicking her from the room. I will not go into depth because I feel like she just seeks attention and is good at obtaining it. However, I will continue to use Rabbit and stream content regardless of how many accounts she makes or the lack of website security. I feel like it'd be a great asset to help in the community of Rabbit change and be more mature. But then again, it is the internet. I am usually on camera and speak in my mind, which unfortunately attracts people to try to come and troll the chat while being off camera. I'm not sure why the Rabbit community is so anti-cam and anti-mic and typically harass people on cam, but I'm used to it by now and will continue to cam up. Rabbit's a great platform and could be a big deal in the future, and that's why I stick with it regardless of how awful the community is sometimes. The staff are actually forgiving, and I'm not sure why Stompy is targeting them or making accusations, but hey, not everyone is all there mentally, so I still try to reason with her after nearly 2 months of her spamming my room on random accounts. It shocks me that I am this patient about it, but it might be because I understand where she's coming from, and I myself have confronted pedophiles on websites like YouNow, only to be banned numerous times. Anyways, I've tried to keep this post short, but got carried away. If you happen to be Rabbit staff and are reading this, I've mentioned many ways to easily secure the site and safeguard users. I'd be happy to help in my spare time to report bugs, exploits, glitches, and suggest fixes and make the platform a better place. You can find me at rab.it/okris, but unfortunately due to the amount of fake accounts adding me, I don't respond much to friend requests. If you still choose to call me names or not believe me, that's fine. Because after all, it is the internet, and people are on it to waste time and or entertain themselves. You could do what I did and Google search Core Stompy and see for yourself the extent and history of this person on the internet. But beware, you might get in trouble for doxing. Peace out, people. Okris. From here onward, Rabbit never actually did anything about Okris since they claimed that he wasn't breaking any rules. Since Amanda was constantly harassing him though, she was found to be in constant violation of TOS, resulting in her accounts, and all of her alternate ones that would follow, to be banned. I'm led to believe that her vendetta against Okris, combined with the fact that Rabbit staff simply didn't take her side on the issue, had birthed a wider grudge against the platform entirely. Since this was the case, if you are, or were, at all, in any form or fashion, connected to Rabbits, then you're complicit in siding with the website that sided with Okris, someone that Amanda was dead set on believing to be a predator. With that in mind, as we know by this point, since someone made a post about Rabbit to the Nexpo subreddits, then Nexpo must be associated with Rabbits, and by proxy, a supporter of Okris, right? Well, no. I'm not. Yeah, that's why I'm tied up in all this. What about her prior targets though? Like I said earlier, I got into contact with a few users that were there at the time, including one of her longtime victims, Comet0707. Unfortunately, she's been dealing with Amanda's harassment for years now, and it even dates back to when she was a minor herself.
For the longest time, it's been so hard for me to talk to people or even get this off my chest because nobody knows what to do about it. You don't want to be involved with the shit I've seen. You don't want any part. You're worried about the police coming at your door and being like, oh, you're in possession of things. And I'm not though. I was sent things. I deleted it. I don't want it. And I'm just happy to finally have a voice out there to sort of tie everything in and be like, this has been happening for over a year now, and she's still out there. She's still tagging me in Twitter posts. She's still coming after me. Like, there's still so much damage, like, in my Discord servers, on the Reddits I now control. There's still so much. There's still people asking for, like, what happened, the full story, and I don't think I could ever give the full story because, like I said, it's a year's worth of harassment and breakdowns and spending endless nights being paranoid that she's going to totally just ruin whatever existence I have online.
By 2019, Rabbit shut its doors due to a lack of continued funding. Comet and Slender Snake would continue running the official Rabbit subreddits in hopes of keeping the community alive and connected. However, it came at a cost. After hearing about what Amanda did to her, myself, Night Docs, and all the other YouTubers that were dealing with her had realized that this had far outgrown online harassment and bullying. Amanda distributed to a minor, and action needed to be taken as soon as possible. We reached out to a private investigator, her internet service provider, a lawyer, and Night Docs and Comets even contacted the FBI for a report. Upon further reflection, I'm going to end this video a bit differently than I originally intended, because for some insane reason, what Amanda had done hadn't really hit me. I was originally going to end this with a quick wrap-up saying we called the FBI about it, and that we're going to get through this. Happy redemption arc time. But no. No. What's something that entrenches you in anger? It's going to sound weird saying this, but I don't doubt the idea that Amanda found on Rabbit. It's repulsive that her method of getting the word out is harassing and sending it to people while grouping them in with actual online predators. And even more so, that she subjected what she believed to be a minor to that. Of course, we've reported this to the proper authorities, and I hope to God we hear back. But I'd be lying if I said my hopes were high. Back during that phone call Night Docs made, they didn't exactly seem interested, and that really frustrated me. I know Kids Chat wasn't the only one, and if Amanda did find something on Rabbit, then it's a hell of a good thing it shut down. We know though, we know that there are other chat rooms and hosting sites out there facilitating some of the most revolting activity by those that deserve to be in prison, and I refuse to stand for it. So to you, Amanda Jenkins, I want you to know this. You will no longer affect me. You will no longer affect my friends, and you will no longer affect anyone that interacts with me. You've absolutely decimated an already shit year with your constant antics. But you know what? The bright side here is that you've lit a fire under my ass to do the job that you've been consistently failing at. So thank you for opening my eyes. We'll take it from here. The right way.
I want to see these credits. Slender Snake. Slender Snake. How did I get here? I need to spend more time in the real world. Mama Max, Night Docs. Anyways, interesting, huh? Anyways, it kind of helps explain to somebody maybe that's not in those same circle, it's a quick watch for me. Didn't seem to drag on or anything. Anyways, for people who don't understand, and that's kind of like when somebody new decides to come in, I'm like, go ahead, join the party, come on in. Oh, you're gonna do what now? All right, you'll have to wait behind El Chapo and all these other ones, and the what, U.S. Marshals, blah 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 blah. Yeah, join the club. All right, well, now I'm stoned, had my coffee, got my sandals on. I'm in good health. I have other stuff, yeah, but it's like I thought I was having more stuff. I was like, damn, that's good. So I'll take that. And I got my B12 shot. I'll be carrying on. With who knows what I'll do. Don't know. We're just going to have some fun, and the rest is burning, I guess. I don't even know. And it's kind of a weird feeling, but it's kind of like quitting smoking. It's like, well, what now? Well, we'll just find something, I suppose. Even if I drone on, and believe me, if there's one good thing I am good at is droning on. Hey, there was this dude today at the hospital. There's a lot of old people here. I guess they're everywhere, but in Dallas, just used to seeing more. I don't know, a mix, but it's predominantly older people. This old guy pipes up and he says, "Hey, who forgot to bring the donuts this morning?" I was laughing. Gotta keep in good spirits. Hope everybody's fine. Stay cool. All that good stuff. No one else has been doing shows. Well, I unsubbed everybody. So it's like kind of hard because, I'm used to doing the interactive and kind of knowing who's in my chat and what's going on or whatever. And now we're moving on to different topics or whatever. That being that serial killer, one of the topics, right? And the heat wave itself. The animals are acting up. I don't know. I heard somebody say the whales aren't really attacking the boats, but I don't know. It looked like they were attacking the boats to me. And then there was a bison that recently attacked a woman. I kind of try to watch the animals. They're freaking out too. These people are freaking out. Like my doctor jumping on me today. Like, hey, you better calm the fuck down, man. Don't take that shit out on me. It wasn't me. So no. But for people that can't be firm or whatever, sometimes bring a loved one with you if you have to the doctor, or get a different doctor or something. That's another thing in a small town. You only got, you get fired by so many doctors. I'm not talking about whatever people think. I've never been fired from a doctor before, but it does happen around here. I think it does. I'm like, what are you even talking about? And like, I don't know. I don't want to I don't like to have to prove myself. I'm like, do I have to have receipts now for my health? Jeez, wow, that's pretty serious. That's pretty serious there. Like we got, y'all remember Les Nessman from WKRP? Kind of like those people, like how you were he got mad if you didn't like pretend he had an office and shit. It's kind of like that mentality. It's off the chain. You had to give yourself shots. See, yeah, I know a lot of diabetics, and I was just worried because really I hadn't had a good blood test, like a full panel like that in a long time. And I was like, I was so good, and I fasted and all that stuff, so I know it's accurate. And I'm like, whew, that's weight off my shoulders. I could probably give myself this B12 shot, but I was tempted to do it before. But I'd rather not. I don't know. Just don't want to do it. I gave my friend shots before. She had a knee surgery, and oh my God, yeah, those are horrible surgeries. I just cared about her enough that, she told me how to do it, and she was just like, please do it. I was like, all right. It was just that stuff, like you just had to put it in a fatty tissue or whatever, and it was for like so they don't get blood clots or whatever. She couldn't do it, and I was like, if I don't do it, she won't do it, and that's not going to be good. Anyway, now I'm rambling. We're well over an hour. Oh, the link to that video is on my community tab. I just put a picture there or whatever. You know how you have to do. YouTube's, for the size of this platform, really, it could be a lot better, huh? I know Twitch probably is a lot better, but it's just too busy for me. I should learn it. That's where I should be doing these ramblings, actually. But I don't know where the videos are even stored there. Like, they just totally disappear unless you download it, I guess, or something. I don't know. And I don't even have my setup. You know how it is. We just do this day by day. And we're just... we're just looking for the truth. We're just looking for the truth. And that reminds me, I got to find out what is the baby Q and all them doing now, and quantum leaping, and there's some crazy shit going on out there, y'all. This LARPing stuff it's too damn high. Yeah, my dad. Some of those people have those belts and stuff, or those armbands and stuff. Anyways, I have a lot of loved ones that go through that, and I'm like, and when I go stay with them too, and I should just stick to like a diabetic diet, because I mean, you don't need all that sugar anyway. I try to be good and learn it, because that's an education itself, to learn how to have to adjust your life to that. And like, because I'd go shopping for my sister or whoever, and I had to learn all that, the counting the carbs and all that stuff. Anyway, I gotta go. I'm just glad I don't at the time. I'm in good health. I was like, she was like, you need to stop it, you're fine. I was like, okay, because I never in my life have had these things. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's just kind of weird. Anyway, so hopefully it stays that way. Watch them find out, like, oh, they didn't find this or something, and whatever. We just live for today anyway, right? Until I get everything else checked out, like an old car. What do I got back here? Dun-dun-dun. Oh, yeah, let's end this with the Iraqi operative, foreign asset, Denise, and showing us her Iraqi Freedom Award that has her name on it. Let's hear out of her own mouth what she has to say.
Any business knowing anything with these gray hairs? I haven't been anywhere in life. Here, read that. That's in memory of somebody. That's my name that's on it. That flag was flown in memory of someone I worked with, who gave his life in the line of duty. And they couldn't put his name on there. And they couldn't put his name on there. And they couldn't put his name on there. I'm not playing games. I'm not playing games. I'm not playing games.
Yeah. Well, yeah, about Denise, I'm not sure. She could be stolen identity, could be MK Ultra, could be, what, maybe the best is yet to come out of her. And why doesn't she show those emails? Because those would be interesting to see, because the gig is already up. It's just a matter of, whatever. I was hoping that was the other one. I made two of those, and I liked the ending of the other one better. Anyway, all right, that's it. Have a good one.